1, 2, 3. Baritaglerino here, and in today's video I want to pick up where we left off. I had a sample solo over There Will Never Be Another You, and in the last 4 measures there's kind of a long blues lick. Sounds kind of like this. And that's sort of an important variation to have in your solo repertoire. We have some lines, and then we have some motific development, particularly in the last video I talked about that. And so the blues licks sort of add a little excitement and variety, but there's a few things we want to change from the traditional blues, and that is we're going to try to play more strictly in time. This lick here will just have the same swing 8th notes as the rest of the solo, so we don't have those crammed in like quintuplets and lots of dots and ties and over the bar line and outside of the rhythm kind of phrasing that you might get in the traditional blues, which is really cool, but we're not going to do it here. And we're not going to bend any notes either, for the most part. You might be able to bend, you know, a quarter or a half step, you know. But here we're just going to play these 2 scales, basically. First, the E-flat blues scale. Okay, now we usually won't play all those notes in that order, but they're in there. And then also kind of a variation that uses the major 6 and possibly the major 2nd of the scale. So that might be like this: 1, 2, minor 3rd, 5th, major 6. So there's a C down there. And that'll be mixed in with the other stuff. So you kind of get this scale with a bunch of notes in it, right? And you'll never play them all in the same order. So it's kind of like 2 little flavors that you mix and match. The second one I was talking about, it's very close to this. Actually, it kind of is the C blues scale, right? So you might recognize it over here. But I'm not sure how useful it is to actually think about it that way, because it just really has to sound like E flat, right? Although if you start that scale exactly from this note, you get the country kind of blues sound, right? Okay, so a good idea is to just sort of vamp on that, see how long you can keep the feeling going. Right, and you learn to feel like, when is it appropriate to actually resolve onto the major 3rd of the chord. You know, that's the note you got to be really careful with, is that G, right? Because if there happens to be, well, the A flat in here, and you hit that, it's going to sound like a major 7, and that's not really bluesy anymore. So we are going to hit that note at the end, right? But sometimes you want to kind of skip over it and circle it. So let's check out this lick. It's in the last 4 measures of the sample solo. So I'm going to start from 1/8 note before, from the flat 5, A natural to B flat. I'm sliding up there. And then we're going to go to the root, and then to the F on the second string, 6th fret, and we're going to slide that up to G flat. So there's that kind of down home thing there. But now we're going to go back to the flat 5 and slide up to that again. So we got, you can just hear how it's in E flat, but because that E flat is in the middle of the phrase, it sounds like it's not done yet, right? So we're sort of stretching it out a little. So then we're targeting this B flat on the downbeat of measure 2. And here we're going to go up in fourths, E flat and A flat, and then the encirclement to the root, the third of E flat. And that's how you're going to hear it, actually, even though in this case it's the 5th of C7. It sort of floats over the changes. You're just going to hear it as a big E flat thing. So, and that's kind of how it works. You don't want to get super concerned about following the chords. You don't want to get too fancy about trying to play a blues lick in another key or anything. You just want it to sound like you're jamming out on some E flat blues for a few seconds, and people will follow that even if the chords are going in kind of a different direction. As long as you come back inside at the end, it'll sound great. So here we go. We went up to the A flat, and then this enclosure here, F sharp to G, and here we're going to walk up chromatically to the B flat on the second string, and then come down the minor 7th, D flat, C, and you see I'm sliding that first note so I don't run out of fingers. Sounds better that way to me anyway. And now we're going to slide back down the E flat blues scale. So we have, well, because of the notation, it's B double flat, but you can think of it as A, sliding down to A flat. Just right down the blues scale there. And then another A flat, so we're keeping it going for another beat or two. And then finally, okay, so that's sliding up to the major 3rd, and then we have the root 6, and then we're going back into the top of the tune. So there's an E flat, right? You start another chorus, or the next guy comes in, or the melody. Okay, so all of this stuff is covered in Chapter 10 of Jazz Soloing Basics for Guitar. And there's more in-depth chord theory and stuff in the book. I didn't want to stretch out my video today with a lot of talk about that. Please subscribe to this channel and hit the like button if you can, and share this video with your friends if you like it. Thank you very much.